This is an Irreverent podcast. Check out irreverent.fm for shows from all our friends.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Exvangelical, a show exploring the world inside and outside the evangelical subculture. I'm your host, Blake Chastain. I'm in between recording times with authors, but there's a lot going on here in the United States that deserves attention. The sheer quantity of overlapping, simultaneous emergencies is alarming. Many of these crises, including the constitutional crises we face, are a direct result of the election. Trump has empowered the unelected centibillionaire, and centibillionaire is a heinous word, Elon Musk, to run roughshod in illegal and unconstitutional ways across multiple agencies. In particular, foreign aid has been continually and directly attacked by Musk and his allies. USAID has been effectively gutted. There is massive disruption across the globe. MIT Technology Review reported on February 21st that 8,000 pregnant women may die because of these cuts. And according to Reuters, one unlimited USAID program provided support for Myanmar's efforts to eradicate malaria. Another contract paid an interpreter in Ukraine. Others were intended to help control HIV in the Dominican Republic or boost fisheries in Ghana. Critics have said that deep cuts in funding by the United States, the world's largest single donor, undermine American leadership and leave a vacuum for adversaries like Russia and China to fill. The unconstitutional funding freezes are causing havoc across the federal government and in the lives of Americans that depend on them. And there are organizations and individuals who are working to resist these changes, even though there's no one that seems to have the same power and immediate impact as DOGE. The Democratic Party's oppositional response has been lacking, and they seem unwilling to act with the impunity that the current administration and the unelected minions of DOGE do. And here's where I connect this current political moment to the thrust of this show. The white evangelical movement has been inextricably linked to the Republican Party since the 1970s. That bond is as strong as ever, and has been a consistent factor in Trump's political success over the last decade. And it's those very same political choices that have often led people to disaffiliate from evangelical belief in churches, whether they use a term like exvangelical or not. I detail a lot of those attempts to reform evangelicalism from within in my book, Exvangelical and Beyond. And I want to emphasize both of those things, exvangelical and beyond. I consider one of the weakest criticisms of exvangelicals to be that they only stand against something, they don't stand for anything, as if that was a binary choice instead of a false dichotomy. Yes, to adopt a term like exvangelical is inherently negative and looks to the past, but it makes a clear break with that past and takes a stand on issues that matter today. It's both and, not either or. When you make clear that you will not continue to enforce the patriarchal complementarian beliefs that were taught to you, you can also make clear that means you advocate for gender equality, marriage equality, and trans rights. When you make clear that you do not accept the extra-biblical teachings that capitalism is the best economic system, you can also make clear that you support government programs that provide housing assistance. When you reject white supremacy, you can also advocate for greater equity and inclusion. Knowing what you stand against also means you know what you stand for, as well as who you will stand between when someone claiming to have power comes for the rights and well-being of those you hold dear. You can do this in a spiritual or a secular context. You can do this through an existing political party or through nonpartisan local efforts. But your community needs you, and you do have a community. Whether that is your friends, your family, your neighbors, or your fellow citizens. Evangelicals know what it means to lose community, and I think that is why for those of us who are religiously unaffiliated, this leads to them being less civically engaged, and that's according to a 2024 Pew Research study. But the truth is, your community still needs you. They need your wisdom, your ability to understand, interpret, and refute Christian nationalist talking points and authoritarian tactics. And I encourage you to start where you are right now. If that means just knowing what you're against and not what you're for, then that is enough. It will lead you to understanding what you are for. And in this climate, standing against something is standing for something. It's both and we need to contribute to the sort of coalition and community building that builds relationships, norms, and institutions that can survive and thrive, and ensure that democracy does too. I'll be back with more interviews soon. In the meantime, I hope you find ways to resist the authoritarian, fascistic turns we see in our society, as well as ways to build up both yourself and your local community. You can follow my work over at postevangelicalpost.com, and you can buy my book, Evangelical and Beyond, How American Christianity Went Radical and the Movement That's Fighting Back, wherever books are sold. We'll talk again soon. Be well.